Alright, hello everyone. I'm going to give this a go. Bot match though is kind of cool. It's a little bitty internal thing that you play, and I'll play a match of that and I'll show you how things go. And I don't want to get too long here. And I'm just kind of laid back. I like to relax here, enjoy myself, kind of get away from things, get things off my mind. So as you're playing through this game, there's several different things here that you can do. They have your cards that come out. You have your deck down here. You first start with your 7 selections. You can actually mulligan. It depends on who goes first and second. First player just plays a card. You go second, you get to draw a card, then play from those cards. So there's a little bit of offset there, who gets to go first and who gets to play. Now this is just playing against a Spark character in the background. It's one of these little bots, so it's not real life. Nobody's sitting out there waiting for me to decide if I'm going to mulligan or get these cards. The other ones where you're playing with someone, they do put a time limit on it, put a fuse, you'll see that kind of stuff. But right here where I'm talking through this stuff, I'm not going to be so much worried about taking a few minutes. So I think I'm going to go through these things for you. But this is a good place to kind of come try cards out. You don't know how your deck's going to play, you want to put something together, you get a new card, you want to try to get it out there and see. Still a little bit of a gamble, because you got to put it in here. It's like playing a real game. Big part of this is kind of the idea of how you balance your deck with certain types of cards, so what random ones are going to come up for you in the game. So many possible combinations. So your basic fundamentals of 60 decks. You have land cards. You can play those land cards. You use those land cards to get energy. Then different types of energy. You have plains, swamps. You have several other different types in there from forest. There's 5 basic different lands, and I go through them. I don't want to bore y'all too much with a whole bunch of talking. I'm going to kind of get into some games here and cards, but to let you see, if you mulligan, it lets you get rid of your card, one card, and get a new set of decks. You may get first hand, may look real bad, but you kind of disadvantage if you lose one card. But this looks pretty decent, so we'll keep that started.
It's a game, so remember to have fun.
And so, opponent went first, played one of the lands and island type of water, blue. And so now it's my turn, so
Let's
this
get
shows
moving.
which ones I can play that I'm going to be going into. So,
Keep going. You can do this.
the little Spark character up here says some cool little things and lets you make things and comments, but you can say some comments, but you can't write anything. You have a very basic set. Keeps people from getting in there and saying something obnoxious or that kind of stuff. You got a basic set of things to call for, but I wish I'd give you a little bit more options than what's here, but that's kind of all you have to go through. So you can just
Let's
say,
get moving.
Hello if you want to start playing a game.
Well, hello to you too.
That you get in here so we can take and play the plains card. Goes in this region, in this area. So now I've got 1 mana to pull against. Now when I use it, cards get tapped. It can be a character or whatever. So I want to play one of these, so I've got one available to show me I can play these other cards. Each one of these has their own special little ability. So like this card has the ability to fly and lifelink. Lifelink says anything that damage you do, then you get that life. So if you do 1 damage, you get 1 life. So I'll play this card. I can do an auto play, and it pulls the mana from here for you. Makes it a little easier. Helps you keep up with things, and if you're playing real cards. First comes out at summoning. So what you got to realize is you're a planeswalker, you're this wizard, right? And you've got your spells that you're going to be cast. When you cast a creature out here like a healing hawk, that's a spell. I'm summoning that creature. It takes a turn for that creature to resolve into the area.
That's wild.
And there's different areas that you're playing. So you've got your deck in your hand, you've got where your cards go, you've got your deck that you actually draw your cards from, you have a graveyard which sits on this side, and you have an exiled pile that sits on the other side here that you can play against. You'll see how some of that kind of stuff plays through.
Ever think about the multiverse?
Once we went through, now it's my turn.
So that's
some of the sickness is gone. So now I can do a few things with this hawk. I can go ahead and do different things, different stages, kind of steps through the stages here as you go. But I can put another land out right now. I put out 1 plains. I want to go ahead and put me out of black so I can use that later. Any of these other kinds of cards here that use that kind of swamp, these indicators at the top of what the cost of the card. But I'm going to go ahead and play me another healing hawk. I ought to play that. Now this one's in summon sickness, and this one can actually be attacked or it can actually do other things. You can just kind of leave it, whatever kind of abilities and things. This is all basically all I can do right now with this card is attack. There's nothing to defend or anything, so I'll go ahead and do it. 1 damage, not much to do that, but as you can see, the life link puts one from one, and so drew their card, played land. They actually played a card up here, so this one's got flying. So whenever cards enter the battlefield, there's a lot of abilities and things that happen. So here, this one allows them to draw an extra card.
You can do this.
Realized and you watched, they got a card when their turn started, and then when they played this card, they got another card drawn, which can be a pretty good advantage. Card draw is a big deal when you're playing this game. So just keep that in mind. So I'm back to my turn. This one's flying too. Grounds can't block a flying, and flying can block a ground. So just keep that in mind. So if I attack now, she's got something that can actually block it. So I'll go ahead and put other ones. So now I've got 3 to call from, but there's not really anything down here I can play. Nothing's highlighted. Goes through my different stages. Before the turns, you know, before we go into combat, and when we get actually into combat. Go into combat, there's several different steps there that you can kind of walk through with the combat, but I can decide if I'm going to attack. So I can do a quick attack all if I want. Shows red, kind of picks what you're attacking. You really always attack the player unless there's another planeswalker, which is one of the newer things they started doing in these games. Hopefully I'll be able to show you a few of those here shortly.
Hey, I can see your hand.
If it blocks, it'll do 2 damage. So 2 damage would be what toughness is the second number here, where I would take 2 damage, which would kill my hawk. This would do 1 damage, so this card would take 1 damage, and so then it would kill this card. So she blocks with that unless there's some kind of spell or something else, this little bot. So let's just see what happens. Go ahead and do attack. So yeah, block for that one. That one with her. Both of those died. Went into the graveyard. So you can go back and look at this on the graveyard. You can have any cards they got in their hand. You can look at your graveyard, see what you've got in your graveyard, that kind of stuff. Really takes a lot of this upkeep and hard part or hassle of the game itself when you're dealing with cards. So really nice platform to play this arena in. And it's not like video game that stretch out playing with a controller and trying to get into things or jump in and big keyboard stuff. Just relax, come back, lean back, got the mouse, enjoy yourself. You can do everything.
Let's get moving.
So nice game to play when you want to relax. So now I've got enough that I can play some other cards. Looks like I got several of the same kind. Sometimes that's a good advantage, and sometimes it's not. Here, this is kind of a little bit of a disadvantage and an odd card draw.
Keep with it.
But I'm going to go ahead and play one of these. You can see the abilities on that. So every time this particular part of your upkeep in this game stage, it will do 1 damage, and you'll gain 1 life. I couldn't do anything else. See, when this card came out, I have the ability to be able to tap the creature. So I have something I can block with it. And to play another one. So putting a lot of cards out there really quick. So these little bot matches, I think when you first start, are pretty easy. They work you through a few simple tutorial things, and it's really good to go through that stuff. And they try to get you up to speed. But
hey,
this is still an easy match against these little bots. So just realize when you get out there, it can be a lot more tough than this. And they've updated this one. When they first started, they were real simple. Trying to get a little more competition with the bots.
Oh, sorry.
But you're not playing against anybody. You don't have anything to worry about. You can just kind of learn your cards, how things work. Make a mistake here, lose the game. Who cares, right? So now I've got a few more. I got a different kind of card here. I'll play a different one here. So whenever it's attacked, it does similar to the other one, just not an upkeep. This ability gets triggered, just kind of the way they look at it, from when I get attacked, where the other one gets triggered based on the stage of the game. So I'll play that one in. Now I can attack here. If I attack here, this card will do 1 damage to me. I'll get the 1 life link because I did the 1 damage. I'll do 1 damage to it. It'll still have 1 life. It would say I would die, so I don't want to do that.
Sorry.
So I'm not going to attack.
But I saw something.
If I try to come in here and attack, I click on it, say I'm going to attack. I can cancel that out. If I don't, I commit. Then it's too late. They may block, they may not. Just kind of see how things happen. So I'm not going to block. I'm going to hang on to mine. These are really nice cards. I can wipe out a lot of what is put out there right now by doing 2 damage to all of them. And I think I can probably do that pretty soon. But you see now, like attack 3, it triggered these abilities. So each one of them is coming in into play now. Now that I have the ability, since I didn't attack and it wasn't tapped, I can actually block a creature. I can pick any one of these I want to block. If I pick any of these, it'll actually kill it. If I play this card, this will hurt myself as well. So I don't. It doesn't matter to me if I go ahead and kill right now because I'm planning on doing that. And just to show you, I'm not going to pick the frog. I'm going to do one of these kind of like a mistake type play. So I can't block even the one flying. So I'll block flying just to show you how that goes. So that just kept me from taking 1 damage until here. So I took 2 damage here and 3 here. I could have blocked this one, killed it, and kept from taking 3 damage. Advantageous. But I'm just trying to show how it works. And I played another card, came out here. You can play cards at the beginning part of your step, at the end part of the step. And my other card here triggered ability at the beginning of my turn. So I did 1 damage, I got my other heal from it, and now it's my turn to be able to play. I still don't have enough. See, I've got 3 plains here, but I have only 1 swamp. So not a real good situation when playing this card. I really wish I could play this one, even though I only need 3. The only thing I can do is play another one of these. So that's a lot more damage sitting on the board here, too, that I can take. But there's not much I can do now that I've sacrificed and lost my bird, my healing hook. And you can come over here and see what the abilities are, kind of pull it up, shows you what their cards are, just trying to look at it. Even though attacking with a bunch of creatures, this card actually does a lot of good for me because either just doing 3, I really end up getting 2. Here it does 2, I really only get 1. I don't really get any damage, I get healed from that one. So it's doing 1 damage. Each time it attacks, it does damage to itself, so it's not healing at all. So every time it's attacking, it's almost killing itself. So I haven't even been able to do much attacking and damage to it. So this game will finish up pretty quick. But now I've got another card that grows really fast. I like this card.
Let's get moving.
This is what the deck's built around. This is an earlier one, so it just grows each time you gain life. I've got some that grow really fast. Hopefully we'll get into some of those and show those in the game. So I'll auto-play that. And since there's nothing else I can do, it's in Summoning Sickness, it goes automatically. And you can hit these and you can stop and fix up those, keep it from going through. So you can just have time to think or look. But a lot of times I don't care to do that. But it is nice to do because it's an advantage to your opponent. Your opponent can see the pause and the timing of your characteristics. They may know you have something you can play and it automatically stops there. They'll think, he's sorcery or something. He can, see how fast this card's going. Every time I take damage, gain life for each one of the attacks, the card grows. So I just went from that 1 card to put 5+1 counters on it, so I went to the 7/7 creature. And right now, so I can block something if I want to. I can't block any of the flying, so if I try to block a flying,
let's get moving.
But I can pick one of these down here. So the best thing to do would pick something like the highest count card, block that one. And so this game's pretty much over. A lot of times you could do curses, come in here and you can quickly say, hey, good game.
I like to think the treasure was the lessons learned. Want to play again?
Very obvious. The triggers. Pretty good little bots. So pretty good bot game. Didn't get into a lot of my good cards, but it kind of shows you how it plays. So this is a good place to start. Victorious here. Obviously, I didn't get much cards out. It really wasn't a good place to start. If I would have been playing out there against some of these guys, they probably would have beat me really quick. So the first set of cards is really important. Deciding on that mulligan, getting good creatures out there. But just remember, guys, just because you get out there, you get beat out there over and over again, just kind of stay at it. That's part of the game. Building the deck and doing stuff offline is a very important part of this, and figuring out how to make the cards work together. So you can get out there and beat those guys that's been out here doing it for a while and get everything set up, put a lot of money, investment, time, and effort into it. So just stay at it. Don't give up. And thanks for watching.